Okay, so I tried to make this video a week ago and it was really sunny and it was really distracting because the sun kept shining on the screen and it was flashing, and I figured I'd give somebody a seizure if I did it that way. But as you can see, I still have yet to find time to do this with like great production value. It's just not happening. So you guys are going to get the car today, and this video that I wanted to make with good production value, which isn't going to happen, is about how I got started as a 44-year-old woman powerlifting. So anyway, we're going to go way back in time. When I was a kid, I was not in any sports because first, my parents weren't into sports themselves. They didn't prioritize sports or athletics. They pretty much just prioritized academics. So I didn't really get into any sports until I was much later. In junior high, I dabbled in a couple things, but because I'd never played a sport before, I wasn't very good at anything, and so I got discouraged really easily. I was in art class and we had to cut stuff out of magazines for an art project, and I found a Shape magazine and was obsessed with exercise. So I'd go home and I'd do the routines with like cans of soup and basically mostly aerobics and maybe abs in my bedroom at night. I was good at swimming, so in high school I joined the swim team and lifted weights for the first time. And I was so incredibly weak. I don't think I'd ever done a push-up. I didn't have any sort of muscle strength at all, and so I progressed really quickly, as noobs do. It's usually a matter of recruiting muscle fibers and getting better form, and just sort of your body getting adapted to how to do each movement. I never trained on a consistent basis, and even as an adult, you know, when I graduated high school or my senior year, I joined a gym and had a program. You know, again, progressed, but never really had anybody training me. And I was obviously doing really high reps of stuff. You know, maybe 10 was like my minimum reps, but usually about 12 to 15 was the rep range I was going for. So I certainly wasn't prioritizing strength over anything else. I was just kind of going through the motions. I kind of became a little obsessed with having muscle. But because I was tall and thin with just like a gut, I thought I was an ectomorph. I thought I was a hard gainer, which we all know that the only reason you don't gain muscle is because you don't eat. God, if only I knew what I know now in terms of just eating to gain muscle and to gain weight. I was so thin at that point that, you know, it would have been really easy to gain had I just prioritized, you know, calories over everything else. But, you know, live and learn, right? There's so many women that are still out there trying to exercise and diet and not really get anywhere. My adult life, you know, I gained weight, I lost weight, I discovered yoga, I, you know, did spin, I kind of did a little of everything, but never really had a weight training program. And never really finished a weight training program. So this year, or actually it was last year, when I was 43 years old, I got past the holidays and I said, I need to do something. And I knew I wasn't mentally prepared to diet. So I decided I was just going to go to the gym, join the gym, and do a program. And so I picked New Rules of Lifting for Women. I'd had the book for years and years and years. I got it when it first came out and everybody was all over it. And then I never completed any of the stages. A little bit because I had this perfectionism in my head that if I didn't do things perfect, that it was a waste of time. And then also I was intimidated by some of the moves. I knew what a deadlift was from seeing the book, but I didn't really know how to do a deadlift, and it was a little intimidating to try and do a deadlift. I didn't do that program until last year, and I just said, I'm not going to diet, I'm just going to do this program and I'm going to finish it. And even if it's not perfect, I'm just going to do the workouts in a row. So if I skip a week, I just start with the next one. If I miss a day, I start that day over again. So it was, that was a good mindset for me to have, since I'd always been that perfectionist phase before. I finished New Rules of Lifting for Women. I've started cutting at this point, started tracking macros and calories. And then I was looking for a goal, because everybody needs to have some sort of goal. But I wasn't really interested in a bodybuilding goal. I did not want to put on a bikini and clear heels. I know about that stuff because that's what the girls at my gym a while ago used to do, and that was pretty much it. I mean, even back then, all they had was figure and bodybuilding. They didn't even have bikini at that point. So I didn't want to diet like that. I knew that that would set me up for failure to try and be that level of leanness, especially because I was just starting to get to the point where I enjoyed my workouts, especially because there was no cardio involved. That's always a plus. I was kind of poking around the forums, and people had suggestions like train for a photo shoot, schedule a photo shoot, and I'll give you the end goal. I'll give you like kind of that motivation. And then a lot of other girls have been training for powerlifting. So it was kind of like my first even glimpse into powerlifting. I didn't even know what powerlifting was. I think a lot of people think that powerlifting is the Olympic weightlifting, because that's what people usually watch, whether it's on TV or it's in CrossFit or whatever. So I didn't really even know what powerlifting was. I started doing a workout from the bodybuilding.com forums called All Pros Workout, which is a barbell workout. It's a 3-day-a-week type of workout, and it focuses on the big three and then a few other barbell moves to round out the workout. I started doing that, and I started to really look at form. I started to video myself, but at the same time I didn't really know what form was. So a few of the girls that I knew, or at least one of the girls at the time that I knew, trained with Wade Johnson, and then another girl that I knew started training with Wade Johnson. And I thought, I'd go, okay, let me just reach out to him, let me just get an idea of what he costs, because I'm not ready to start yet. I just wanted to get an idea, and we'll go from there. Really, I contacted him because I wanted somebody to look at my form first and foremost. But I contacted him, and he just kind of swept me up and along, like, why wouldn't you? Why are you waiting? Why don't you just start? So I started training with Wade last December, and started training as a powerlifter. I was really lucky to find the sport, or something to train for that didn't involve the clear heels and the sparkly bikinis. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I've been training for powerlifting for 10 months now, or almost 10 months. And I don't have a meet scheduled, but that's how, as a 43, now 44-year-old woman, I got into powerlifting. So I think the biggest issue is that a lot of women don't even know exists. And then a lot of women don't give themselves enough credit. Daily, my coach is telling me I'm stronger than I realize. And once in a while, I prove it to myself. But just that feeling is so awesome. And I wish more people, more women specifically, knew about it And so anyway, that's my story. So there you go. Now I gotta go into the gym and go do squats. Okay, bye.